Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Peter Samuels, and we are here today with my first of many classic WWE pay-per-views. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to be watching is WWE Beep in Your House, Good Friends, Bitter Enemies. This is from the 28th of April, 1996, emanating from Omaha, Nebraska. We don't have the crowd attendance, unfortunately. The first match was Ahmed Johnson and Jake the Snake Roberts taking on British Bulldog and Owen Hart. It was originally supposed to be a singles match, now turned into a tag team match, and this match was very, very good. Not a lot of botches in the match. Ahmed Johnson with some beautiful moves on Owen Hart. At this time, Owen Hart was one of the best workers in the WWE, in my opinion. Next to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, definitely one of the best. This was a powerhouse and a high flyer and technical wrestler against a high flyer and a babyface who is over as bananas. The crowd loved Rocky Johnson and loved Jake the Snake Roberts. They were wanting the DDT all match. They didn't get it, unfortunately. British Bulldog whacked the leg of Jake the Snake Roberts with a tennis racket to get the verbal submission. It's actually kind of cool to see verbal submission around this time. Definitely one of these situations where I do enjoy it, seeing these matches and stuff like that. Not a lot of botches in the match. Some beautiful moves by Ahmed Johnson. He was over. I still believe if he wasn't as injured as much as he would be seriously a champion of the day. He was supposed to be wrestling. I know this is further on in his career. He would be wrestling the Undertaker for the title. Unfortunately, injuries would stop that from happening, which is really sad because he is a good wrestler. I do believe he is a good wrestler. So, with that being said, guys, we have Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon on commentary. Jerry Lawler with the line of the match: "If idiots could fly, this place would be an airport." I love it. I think that's really, really awesome. So, guys, we're going to be watching the next match, which is the Ultimate Warrior versus Goldust for the coveted Intercontinental Championship. Let us watch the match. So, they are currently promoting the WW Hotline with Mark Mero versus the 1-2-3 Kid, which was in the WWE Free For All, which would be the pre-show before the pay-per-views and stuff like that. I would have actually wanted to see that match. I think that would have been a great match. Mark Mero versus the 1-2-3 Kid. I will definitely try and find it if I can watch it. I think that would be a great match. Goldust is currently making the entrance with Marlene, aka Terry Reynolds. What do I think of the Goldust gimmick? I enjoy it. I think it was it was a weird character around the time in 1996, but amazingly, it got over. It got over as a heel. It got over as a face. Dustin Reynolds would stop doing the Goldust character around the time of 1998, 99, I think it was, for a few weeks. And then he would bring it back because it would be... what people would want. He would be again another born again Christian, and yes, the Ultimate Warrior in 1996. I mean, he would come back. He would come back at WrestleMania 12 a few months ago, and in the squash match against Hunter Hearst Helmsley, 12 seconds, no sold the pedigree. I think this would be one of his final matches in WWE, but I have no idea. Now, we have just seen that Goldust has got an injury to his leg, so hopefully that will play into the match, but we are talking about the Ultimate Warrior, so maybe not. Hopefully it will do. Hopefully we have some psychology in this match. If not, then unfortunately. Mr. McMahon on commentary is okay to a degree. It's not grinding on me as much as many people would say it is. But now, the gold-plated, the gold strap Intercontinental title, I think that is just beautiful. It's like the white belted Intercontinental title now. That's just beautiful. I think he's really, really beautiful. The Ultimate Warrior is making his entrance right now, so we will carry on the match. So we've just seen Goldust versus the Ultimate Warrior in the intercontinental title match, and the amount of film references Jerry Lawler makes in this match is hilarious. Goldfinger, Fatal Attraction, just so many. There's so many to name. So we're seeing the bodyguard of Goldust now get his ass kicked. But I do like the way the Warrior actually did try to get into the mindset of into the mind of Goldust by stealing his jacket, taking the cigar from Marlene and staying in Goldust's chair. Goldust went to try and get Goldust to kiss his hand. The cigar out on his hand, runs the ropes, clotheslines him out, and Goldust walks away from the match after a 10 count. Not the best, I can't really call it a match. I can call it an angle in a way, but I think this will be one of the last times we do see the Ultimate Warrior in the WWF until his return in 2016, if I recall. Because he would go, because after this he would go to the WCW, where Renegade would be around this time as well. But I think this was okay. It was an okay angle. It wasn't a match, but it was a bit meh. It wasn't really anything. It was just a way to set up an angle. So we're going to be watching. I think the next match is going to be Vader with Jim Cornette taking on Razor Ramon. So that hopefully will cleanse the palate of the pay-per-view. Also, one thing I do want to pick up, it's been match, a little bit of a promo talking about why, so we've just seen Davey Boy Smith, British Bulldog, and Owen Hart outside of Shawn Michaels' locker room. There was supposed to be an angle about Diana being unfaithful or something like that with Shawn or something like that. Davey Boy and Diana didn't like that idea at all. So this is more along the lines of the idea happening. I couldn't really tell you in a bit more. I need to do a little bit more research into it. But I will do that whilst this match is happening. So yes, it is Vader versus Razor Ramon. Vader is, I think, face. And heel is the Razor Ramon. So let's watch this. Another killer line from Jerry Lawler, talking about how greasy Razor Ramon hair is, and he just went, well, one of these days, his greasy hair is going to ignite, just like Michael Jackson's did. Around the time Michael Jackson's hair did go up due to a pyrotechnics mishap, if I recall, at a concert. But yeah, I love that line. I think that was a brilliant line. Let's get to the match. So, Vader versus Razor Ramon has just happened. A really big, hard-hitting match. I'm very surprised about it. I would have thought the Razor would be a bit smarter, but no. One of the big moves of the match was at the very beginning when they tied up. Vader literally just threw Razor Ramon out the ring. It was amazing. Another great one-liner from Jerry Lawler. Razor Ramon would still be a pair of Razor Ramon would steal a pack of horseshoes whilst they were still on the horse. I love that. I think that was actually really, really funny from Jerry Lawler. Even though he's playing the heel, he has got some amazing one-liners coming up. We are now going to be watching. I don't know who we're going to be watching. There's an interview going on with the. With Vader and Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette was at ringside for Vader. Didn't actually get involved. I'm actually surprised about that. I would say Jim Cornette was one of the better managers around this time. It was Clancy Mason, who was the lawyer with the British Bulldog and Owen Hart, not Perry Mason. That was a character from a TV show, TV movies. So next up, we will have a tag team match, another tag team match. So 2 tag team matches on the card. I think it will be the Godwins versus the Bodydonnas, and then we'll have the main event. So it's the Godwins versus the Bodydonnas next up. So the Bodydonnas versus the Godwins, really good match. Some really good double team moves by the Bodydonnas, including a a rope assisted suplex. I thought that was really good on Phineas. On Phineas. If Phineas would become Midian, who would become Naked Midian, in the Attitude Era. But Sunny basically brought out a signed autograph of herself to give to Phineas because she's smitten. He was smitten with her. She would become the manager for the Godwins after Hillbilly Jim left the WWF. The W. It's sorry guys. But it was a really good tag team match. It was for the tag team titles. Godwins were the champions coming in. They retained due to a roll up. Basically switch the old switcheroo from the partners. Really good match. And now the WWF title match: Shawn Michaels, Diesel, no holds barred. I also forgot to say in the Godwins versus the Bodydonnas match, Jerry Lawler with the line of the match. What do you get when you have two dirty teddy bears and a tractor that won't start? The Nebraska State Fair. I thought that was brilliant of Jerry Lawler. So yep, that's another great win from him. So let's watch this match. So we've just had the WWE Championship match between Shawn Michaels and Diesel, no holds barred. One of the more lesser brutal matches from the no holds barred stipulation. Couple of very high risk moves, couple of whips from a belt, chair shots, still a power bomb through a table. Not your everyday normal match, but definitely one that would be a high impact and very tame in a way. So 96 is very good. Shawn Michaels with the win after the super kick, building it up very nicely. And also Diesel ripping off Mad Dog Vachon's prosthetic leg and using that as a weapon. I thought that was actually about to use that as a weapon. I thought that was very good. And then reversing it on Shawn to let him use it, I thought was very good. Plus, the selling from Vince and Joey the King Lawler was just perfect, I thought. Definitely good. So that's the end of the pay-per-view. Overall, I would actually give it an A, actually. I would actually give it a match. The only thing that was the weakest thing on the weakest match was the Intercontinental title match. That didn't even start. The bell didn't even ring. And that was the weakest match on the card. The tag team title match was a very good match, a surprising match. The opening contest was okay. The Vader versus Ramon was a very good storytelling between two very high impactful men, and the title match was brutal, barbaric, but also tamed as well for the new generation. So, like I said, I would give it an A. I would definitely give it an A plus, but due to the Intercontinental title match, it just lets it down. So that was my review of Good Friends, Bitter Enemies from 1996, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Coming up soon will be a review featuring myself and Alex. Alex Munt will be returning to the show to do a review with myself. It will be another pay-per-view from 1996 where the boyhood dream would come true. Guys, thank you so much for watching. The next episode of the classic pay-per-view will be the review with myself and Alex, and I will be doing the Super Showdown coming up on WWE pay-per-view in October. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and catch you on the flip side.